This is Mac OS Ken.
A new iPhone, a surprising price, and a bunch of stuff goes away. It is Thursday, the 20th of February, 2025. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Incogni. Take your personal data back and get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Let's do one business story before we get to Apple's product announcement, one to which we may circle back regarding Apple's product announcement. Before Apple hit with what it hit with, MarketWatch had BofA analyst Wamsi Mohan issuing a note saying Apple might have to raise iPhone prices to offset tariffs enacted by the Trump administration. While he and his had hoped the Cupertino company would be able to negotiate some sort of exemption, Mr. Mohan said he was revisiting Apple's tariff scenario after President Trump's memorandum ordering reciprocal tariffs with U.S. trading partners. Quoting his note, "We are revisiting our tariff scenario for Apple, assuming all products will face at least a 10% tariff. We note the 10% is only in reference to China, but the threat of reciprocal tariffs on countries such as India, where the tariffs are much higher, could force Apple to source U.S. iPhone demand from China." Cue sad trombone. If Apple leaves prices for Mac, iPhone, and iPad where they are, Mohan and company see earnings per share taking a 26-cent hit in calendar year 26. If Apple increases prices by 3% in the States, the piece has Mohan figuring the earnings impact would be 21 cents in calendar 26, with the assumption that 5% fewer units are sold. To take no hit to earnings per share, Apple would need to raise prices about 9% to offset the impact of 10% tariffs, according to the analyst. That still assumes a fall in unit sales of 5%. Mr. Mohan has a buy rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares remains $265. Now, let's get to the thing. As pretty much everyone expected, Apple updated the iPhone SE on Wednesday, and as many expected, they also changed the name. Say hello to iPhone 16e. The E stands for not being SE. Leave off the S for savings. Working from the outside in and back to front, iPhone 16e looks like it belongs in the iPhone 16 line. Gone are the curved edges, replaced with the squared-off hard edges that have rocked the standard iPhone line off and on since iPhone 4. Added is the Action button, a differentiator for the iPhone 15 Pro models that became standard with last fall's iPhone 16 line. Setting it apart in terms of looks and functionality, there is one rear-facing camera, a respectable 48-megapixel unit with 2x telephoto zoom for moving closer in without actually having to move. The camera can also capture 4K video with Dolby Vision up to 60 frames per second, and it can capture spatial audio, though not spatial video because it's only got the one aperture, or lens. Camera bit, let's say. On the front, the screen is bigger, expanding from iPhone SE's 4.7-inch display. The 6.1-inch display on iPhone 16e matches the size of the entry-level iPhone 16. The 16e's front-facing camera and Face ID components are nestled in the notch. No dynamic island for the least expensive iPhone Apple offers. Also, no home button. More on that later. Moving inside iPhone 16e, it is powered by Apple's A18 processor, making it, yes, built for Apple Intelligence. that brings in Image Playground, Genmoji, writing tools, optional ChatGPT integration, and visual intelligence, which kind of annoys me. Maybe there is a technical reason the A17 Pro and my iPhone 15 Pro Max, with its 6-core CPU, 6-core GPU, and 16-core neural engine can't do what the 6-core CPU, 4-core GPU, and 16-core neural engine in iPhone 16e can, but they've never really explained what that reason would be. Really not like Apple to not explain why it's doing what it's doing. Also new inside the phone, C1, the first modem designed by Apple and the most power-efficient modem ever on an iPhone, according to the company. iPhone 16e brings crash detection, and the phone brings a truly far-out feature, satellite connectivity, making comms accessible when out of cellular and Wi-Fi range. Apple says the satellite suite includes messages via satellite to text friends and family, emergency SOS via satellite to connect with emergency services, and roadside assistance via satellite to reach a roadside assistance provider in case of car trouble. Apple says the A18, C1, and iOS 18 all contribute to extraordinary battery life. For example, the new phone can handle up to 26 hours of video playback versus iPhone 16's 22 hours, according to Apple's comparison site. The company says the new model's battery life lasts up to 6 hours longer than the iPhone 11 and up to 12 hours longer than all generations of iPhone SE. Now, charging for the phone is kind of funny. First, it does feature a USB-C port, standardizing charging solutions and reopening the EU to Apple's entry-level phone. While iPhone 16e also includes wireless Qi charging, it doesn't include MagSafe. As a piece from Mac Rumors points out, that means accessories such as MagSafe cases, chargers, battery packs, and wallets will not work with this device. That to me is the funny part. Today's Apple rarely passes up an opportunity to upsell. While iPhone 16e features a lot of iPhone 16 features, there are several that are not included. Cult of Mac runs through a list. Though iPhone 16e boasts a decent camera, it does not do ultra-wide shots. There's no camera control for iPhone 16e. There's no MagSafe, as mentioned earlier. It's got the notch but not the dynamic island, as mentioned earlier. The screen's not quite as bright. It supports Wi-Fi 6, not Wi-Fi 6E nor Wi-Fi 7. No ultra-wideband chip, so you can't find it with precision finding. For you smart home bodies, there is no Thread wireless mesh networking, and finally, there is a distinct lack of color. iPhone 16e comes in matte black or matte white. However, the fine print on Apple's press release says the company has 5 iPhone 16e silicone cases on the way: winter blue, fuchsia, lake green, black, and white. Okay, those will run buyers $39. Quoted in Apple's press release on the new phone, Apple CEO Tim Cook? No. Apple Senior VP of Worldwide Marketing Greg Joswick? No. It was Apple VP of Worldwide iPhone Product Marketing Kyan Drance. She is said to have expressed excitement for iPhone 16e to complete the lineup as a powerful, more affordable option to bring the iPhone experience to even more people. See, that's funny terminology. Yes, it is more affordable than iPhone 16, but compared to iPhone SE, affordability is gone daddy gone. iPhone SE started at $429. The new iPhone 16e starts at $599. Available in black or white, that's all you get. Pre-orders for iPhone 16e begin tomorrow, Friday, the 21st of February at 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern. Deliveries and in-store availability start 1 week from tomorrow, Friday, the 28th of February. Now, I had said at the start that we might circle back to BofA analyst Wamsi Mohan's assertion that Apple may have to raise iPhone prices to counteract Trump's tariff tumult. Didn't Apple do that with iPhone 16e? The new phone starts at a price that is $170 higher than its predecessor. Yes, it has a better processor and a better camera and LiDAR and Apple's first self-designed modem, and none of that comes cheap. But might they have added $1 or $2 to the sales price to maybe, just maybe, keep the prices of the iPhones most people buy the same? Over on Mastodon, Christina Warren and a whole bunch of respondents see nothing but greed in the iPhone 16e price. Part of me wants to say, well, duh. I mean, Apple's margins are the envy of the business world. You don't generate those by charging customers what a thing actually costs to make. Still, part of me wonders whether Apple jacked the price higher than it might to defend against increases or staggering increases for this fall's iPhone 17. All of that said, I can't help wondering how many first-time iPhone buyers Apple eliminated, moving the price so precipitously. I had said yesterday that I hoped Apple would do a video launch for iPhone 16e. Now, I hope I find time to watch it. It's not long, only about 12 minutes. It's just I've been too busy reading about the thing and writing about it. But yeah, Apple did do a launch video highlighting the latest iPhone at the greatest price. It's their words, not mine. The video's description also listed all of the music tracks used with links to each track in Apple Music, and yet they don't seem to have put it in a playlist. Why make it easy? Anyway, the video is up now on YouTube. Happy viewing. In with the new, out with the old. We'll send some phones and features on the long walk in a moment. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Incogni, helping you take back your personal data. 283. That is the number of data broker removal requests Incogni has sent on my behalf since last fall. Since then, 223 have removed my data, while 55 have put me on their suppression list, meaning they will never recollect any personal information that could be associated with me. That has saved me over 167 hours and counting. That's hundreds of companies that won't be selling my info to advertisers or other data brokers, and hundreds of potential data breaches in which I can't get caught up. You can have the same kind of protection. Make an account, answer a few questions, and let Incogni do their thing. Whether you're trying to cut down on spam, scrub online activity, or guard against identity theft, Incogni is ready to work with you and for you. Take control of your data privacy today with Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. That's a great savings, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. INCOGNI. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. As is often the case with new features and new tech, old features and old tech were sent to live on a farm on Wednesday, starting with the phone iPhone 16e is meant to replace. A piece from Mac Rumors says Apple has discontinued iPhone SE. Also sent packing were iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, according to another Mac Rumors report. Willing to skimp on storage to save a quatloo or two? Too bad. Another piece from Mac Rumors says Apple did away with the 64GB storage option for the iPhone 16e. According to the report, all iPhones now start with at least 128GB of storage. That's 128GB of storage for $599 for the iPhone 16e, 256GB for $699, and 512GB of storage for $899. The latest iPhone at the greatest price. I think I said before that there's no more home button, but if I didn't, there's no more home button. Engadget ran a lengthy obit which began, Apple's home button died on Wednesday at the age of 18, surrounded by family and friends, including its partner, Touch ID. More surprising than the fact that it's gone is how long that took. iPhone X, the first iPhone without a home button, was launched back in 2017. I'd said earlier that iPhone 16e has replaced its Lightning port with USB-C. With that, a piece from Engadget says the Cupertino company is out of the Lightning business. First introduced in 2012 as a replacement to the bulky 30-pin dock connector, the last of Apple's Lightning port devices were iPhone SE, killed on Wednesday, and iPhone 14, killed on Wednesday. And finally today, if you're seeing red, you must be angry. What you're not seeing is product red, at least not among Apple's devices. Killing the phones it killed didn't just do in the home button and the Lightning port. A piece from Mac Rumors says with the iPhone SE, iPhone 14, and iPhone 14 Plus now discontinued, the final devices that were available in product red are no longer on sale. The only product red products that remain available are a few cases for older iPhone models. While some Beats headphones come in red hues, they are not part of the charity brand, according to the report. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by Incogni. Get 60% off an annual plan with code MacOSKen at incogni.com/MacOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
We truly live in an age of wonders.